And welcome back, everybody. A little more Dragon Age Inquisition. Let's go see what this latest quest has for us. You know, it's funny, I kind of look back, 28 years old, at least as the recording of this, and one of the things that I always kind of find interesting, like, I remember in school I used to daydream a lot in class. You know, you zone out a bit in class, you're not really paying attention. It doesn't get better, folks. You do the same thing once adulthood strikes. Like, you know, it's the only difference is, you know, doing it at work, doing it in the car, whatever. And the big thing that I've been working on now, which I'm kind of excited for, is Mouse Guard. Is a rule set, basically for a role-playing game. But what it's all kind of based on is the idea of these like sentient, super intelligent, well, not super intelligent, but like human intelligent mice. And you know, you kind of play as these knights guards, so to speak. It's an awesome rule set because, you know, you play as mice. You deal with like hawks and owls and rats and shit like that, and it's just a fun take on role-playing games if you enjoy that stuff. I just hate the rule set of it, though. There's comics of it, which I've read, which are pretty cool. Let's see what this letter is first. Booming yet... Oh, Red Lyrium.
A note. It claims this red lyrium is not coming from the deep roads.
But anyway, there's a rule set called Savage Worlds, and Savage Worlds, what's nice about that is it's a very simple rule set, at least in terms of, I guess, adaptations. Nothing to hunt for days, no deer, yada yada. So, what I've started doing now is I've started adapting. There's stuff online about adapting Mouse Guard to Savage Worlds that I was able to find myself a little bit, but I wanted to kind of customize it a little bit more, and so that's what I spend my quote-unquote time in the shower and time in the car and time zoned out at work, basically, and, you know, pooping time. Microsoft OneNote is fantastic. Microsoft OneNote is just a simple note-taking thing. You can organize your thoughts. You can organize things into like little folders and, you know, tabs, shit like that. It's nice and easy to use. So I've used that for like just my common thoughts. It's actually what I use for whatchamacallit, Dungeons and Dragons. Whenever I dungeon master, I try and keep everything together in that, and each tab ends up becoming a chapter. So I kind of write out what I want the group to do, what the group actually does, the encounters, the maps, things like that. Just so it allows me to write anywhere. And so I've now started taking that project for Mouse Guard. It should be fun. I'm actually really looking forward to a Mouse Guard rule set. I love the environment, but the rules just drove me insane. It may be because I didn't play it right and I didn't understand the rules, but they were not very intuitive. They were not... It was kind of based upon this idea of, like, alright, you have to declare what you want the objective of this encounter to be. Whether you kill something, whether you try and get an item back. It didn't work for me. Because it didn't allow you to adapt in the middle of combat. And, like, sometimes, you know, my goal going into a fight might be to kill something, but I should be able to adapt that. Like, if shit starts going really bad, I should be able to get out of it. So, that's kind of what turned me off a lot from Mouse Guard. But, as I said, the atmosphere of it I just found so awesome. Little sentient mice running around fighting hawks and owls and shit with swords, and, you know, I thought that was kind of cool. But granted, I'm kind of a massive nerd, so... Alright, you know what? You're gonna ignore me? Fine, ignore me. Eat this shit, then. Oh, you missed it. Or did I miss it? Oh, it didn't stun? Must have been right there. Get down on the ground. The other thing I've been playing a lot of, and I highly recommend to people, if you like hanging out with friends, but you know you can't get the friends to play Dungeons and Dragons or something, role-playing games still have that stigma attached to them, and maybe you know you can't get a friend into it. Absolutely get cooperative board games. Oh my god, some of the most fun I've had. Damn it. Oh, you're still alive? Fuck you. I can't believe that thing is still on me, considering, like, there's guys right in its face, and it's gonna fuck with me. I think I got him. But cooperative board games, I picked up Mice and Mystics over Christmas that the kids played. And then for my friends, I picked up Eldritch Horror. Oh my god, is that such a good game. I camped beneath the large stone statue of a wolf not far off the road. With the calm eyes of the great beast watching over me, I slept like a babe in arms. Absolutely recommend Eldritch Horror. And it's kind of cool to get your friends into, like, complicated rule sets, but the coolest part about co-op board games, at least for me, is my group is very, very competitive. So we'll play, we used to play, like, Settlers of Catan, or Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride, things like that. And part of the problem, first of all, those are punch-you-in-the-nose games anyway. And anyone who's played them, should know why they're punch-you-in-the-nose games. That, you know, you're doing so well and then someone comes out of nowhere and screws you over, right? Anyone who's played a board game competitively with competitive people can get that feeling. You know, you're like, you... And it stops becoming as much fun when someone... Like, yes, we all had fun, it was a good time. But at the end of the day, not really. Like, it was half fun. Because you didn't win. So with cooperative board games, though, everybody wins or loses together. So the ultra-competitive in me, like, you know, when we went to play Eldritch Horror the first time we played, we won, but we like, broke some of the rules. And that's going to happen. You expect to break rules the first time you play. What the fuck? Oh my god! But, I mean, I would say expect that you're going to cheat your first time playing. And not because you mean to, just because you do. So our first time we won, which doesn't really count. Oh, God. Was a bear, a great big bear, all black and brown and covered in hair! That is a hell of a bear. Where the fuck is it going? Come here. Miss. Butt bumped him. So yeah, before I got so rudely interrupted by this bear. Oh my god. Sarah, you suck. We have full potions. There's just no excuse for that. Ow. See? Blackwall and I drank potions. But, like, everyone walks out winning or losing. And so, like, our next times, you know, future times playing Cthulhu, Eldritch Horror. By the way, that's the theme. It's a Lovecraft where you fight off, the, like, ancient ones. You know, there's different ones that you'll go against based on whatever you want to go against. But, like, I got really into it after we lost the next 2 times, once we saw what we were doing and once we kind of played more by the rules. We lost the next 2 times, and I was so convinced to win, so I'm like looking over the characters. I'm really trying to develop strategy, and you know, my friend was doing the same thing. He was really looking to, and his wife, whatever. I mean, she just wanted to kind of roll dice and play, and so it worked for everybody, right? She kind of got to play a little more casual, because that's what she wanted to do. We got to play kind of super hardcore into it, because that's what we wanted to do. And ultimately, it works out so great. You have such a great time because nobody walks out feeling like, you know, either everyone wins or nobody wins. And, you know, someone might carry the game, so to speak. But, I mean, a lot of these games, they're balanced in such a way that, you know, everyone is necessary. And so it might come down to a really important role. And, it's just, it's good. Why aren't you? Good. Finish them off. So, yeah, I mean, the ones that I've played right now are Mice and Mystics and Eldritch Horror. Another one that's supposed to be very good is Flashpoint, from what I know. Flashpoint is much more, it's a firefighting one, which sounded really cool. I was kind of excited to give that a try. So that'll be... And the games tend to be kind of expensive. I mean, you're going to spend, you know, a lot of these games are going to be around the $50 mark. But I'll tell you what, I mean, for the amount of fun we had with it, it's worth it. And the quality of the pieces, you know, you get a lot. When you first hold the board, you're not talking about kind of like a light thing. It's got some weight, it's got some heft to it. So I cannot recommend co-op board games enough. And the Eldritch Horror one is kind of cool if you're going to be changing up your group, because it leans itself to that. It's kind of a once and done. Mice and Mystics is much more if you're going to be playing with the same people. Mice and Mystics lasts about 30 to 45 minutes per session. Your first session's probably going to be a couple hours because you're getting the rules and all of that. But Mice and Mystics, it's a campaign, and it's a story-driven campaign. So, like, there's random encounters and there's things like that, but there's also quote-unquote scripted. There's set encounters that you'll have to go through, and it's a little bit more RPG-ish. It's a little bit more of that feeling of I don't know, playing like an actual RPG versus the Eldritch Horror, which is a little bit more of a one-shot type of thing. So that's what cool 28-year-olds do though on their Friday nights. We order pizza and we play board games, but it's done a lot for our group. I know our group got a little bit tense with board game stuff, just because. I mean, a part of it, too, is that you can feel like you set up the perfect strategy. And I don't know how many times in Catan where I felt like, oh my god, the dice are just conspiring against me. Like, I'll have all these 6s and 8s. I'll have, you know, a wood on 6, you know, a copper, or rather brick. I always called it copper for some reason. Brick on 8. Sorry. I don't want to interrupt their talking.
I don't think he was ever actually in the Fade.
But it strained our group because of that. Like, I would just feel like shit. Like, oh my god, I set up these perfect strategies, and you know, I was able to get these great things. I blocked people from, you know, getting resources, and you know, I screwed over this dude's longest road advantage. And that's where part of the punchy in the nose comes in, because I was able to screw that over. And then, like, my dice rolls just stopped coming. And all of a sudden, you're like, fuck. I mean, there's only so much strategy you can do. So the co-op board games help a lot because you're not actively trying to screw people over. One I've heard is also very good is Pandemic. The problem that I've heard with Pandemic, though, is that it's very quarterback-ish. That someone kind of... The game is... Your best chance of winning is if someone takes a real leadership and kind of tells everyone else what to do. Which I can see our group getting into arguments over. You know, everybody meet here, everyone do this. And it kind of... Like, I can see a little power struggle for that. Where compared to, like, Eldritch Horror, there's still obviously a group teamwork necessary. You're not going to win without teamwork. But it kind of allowed us to focus on our own things. Eat bees, motherfucker. Actually didn't use up a ton of potions. Now granted, I used my last bee and my last special, but... Can we chain him or something? Can you bring him in? So you bring him in just as I got this fucking jumpy bastard. So that's my commercial this time for co-op board games. I debated. I don't know how interesting people would find it. I debated videotaping one. You know, I thought that could be kind of cool if everyone got to kind of see us playing. But obviously I'd have to clear it with my group. I would not, just out of respect for them, I wouldn't just record it or assume that they wanted to. And I wasn't sure of the actual interest there would be in watching a bunch of people play a board game. Standard... standard game of Eldritch will last about 2 to 3 hours with 4 people. Oh shit, I always forget to use this. No cursing, Sarah. Ow. I would heal up. Fucking boss mob bears. Jesus Christ. But I think if you've never experienced at the table, if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons or something, if you've never had the chance to experience the thrill of a dice roll from someone that it's not even you, right? Your group is getting their ass beat, everything is going to hell, things look horrible, and all of a sudden, you know, it's on one guy and he rolls that critical hit. And everyone's just staring, waiting for him to confirm it. Critical hit confirms. All right, roll your damage. And just waiting, you know, looking for that look in the DM's eye as he's building tension, you know, and everyone's just staring. And the monster drops. and the whole group cheers. Oh, it's something. And that's kind of what's cool on those co-op board games, is you'll get moments like that. You know, Eldritch Horror. All right, we need this gate closed, otherwise the doom clock is going to advance. And oh, damn it! All right, it's all on you. Roll a lore check. You know, I've only got 1 dice for that. Ah, shit. All right, you got to roll a 5 or 6. You got to roll a 5 or 6. Do it. You know, and person rolls a 6, and like everyone at the table just cheers. It's such an awesome experience. I can't even explain it. It's so cool, and you feel like such a freaking nerd. But so what? Your group just killed Cthulhu. You're amazed. You know, everything's awesome. So it's a lot of fun. I really recommend it. I know I've spent like this entire episode just talking about co-op board games, but I don't know. I've gotten a real passion for them lately. You can play a lot of them single player, but I don't know. It wouldn't do it for me. I wouldn't enjoy playing it single player. I would have to play it multiplayer. It's just, to me, that's not fun. That's not enjoyable to try and work my way through. I mean, what I did do was I kind of played through a bit of it single player just to get a better grasp on the rules, but was never really trying to win. Never got competitive about winning. So, anyway, folks, I think you've heard enough of my spiel. We're going to cut here. As always, thanks for watching. Tune in the next. Thanks for watching, everyone.